this is the apex of his year.
Yeah, and you know when I was talking about how Groovy wasn't winning a lot, it was partially Naraid's fault. When they faced each other in EMEA, Naraid was incredible, so he's going to know what to prepare for. But here we go into Agent Select. What do you guys think?
I mean, all things considered, no big surprise here for Sentinels. I think really that this game is just going to come down to whether or not Giant X can beat out Sentinels in the mid-fight. The attacking side, Sentinels run over that, and I think it's really hard to deal with.
Yeah, and I think they're going to have a bunch of layers to how they fight around the middle of the map, as we've seen. This feels like a tone-setting map for both of these teams that should, on paper, have a chance to kind of make it out.
And for me, the Giant X, they changed their comp. I didn't think they were going to change anything coming into this. Obviously, they bring in 3 different agents we didn't see before. They don't have the KO anymore, which is what Flickless was really... They were relying a lot on Flickless's KO.
But I do think the Fade is going to help them out immensely for the spam and all the info you grab.
I can't wait to jump into this map. Hey, Cuba, by the way. But also, hi, Uber and Wyatt. Welcome to Paris.
Great to be here, Yinsu. Thank you very much. Already it's getting loud and proud down there in the arena. So it's great to see the GX Ultras turning up because we've got a team who is hitherto untested at the global level against the Sentinels roster who are still trying to live up to the legacy of that roster last year, the Tens and Sassy Dynasty.
So far this year, they qualified to Bangkok, but they bomb out 7-8. They make it again to Toronto. They do better. They make it to 5th, 6th, but yeah, they're yet to get that 4th place that they got at Champs last year, and they're yet to get a trophy as they did in Madrid last year, still hunting that greatness that this organization is known for.
Change of comp here for GX. Last time we saw them against TL at close 13-11. They were on a Cypher still. Westside has opted to go over towards Device here instead. It's Sentinel starting on the attack side and already want to pressure A with a split.
Second, now moving forward, getting a little bit of information, wants to play off that Prowler, which does get the connection. All of Yard is now under the control of Sentinels. You can see Gravino fast on the rotate though. 4 GX players posted up.
Some stall here. You'll notice, of course, Westside is tucked there over by Pocket. And for now, Sentinels slow things down, but they are at a clock wire with the drift across the map by Flickless.
Gold cover gonna go down backside, Westside. 2 on the anchor from Elbow.
Big opening here. Sentinels realize they're priced into this at this point. With Westside out of the picture now, they're going to have to commit, but a Paranoia is going to slow them up in further, and this has brought time for Flickless now to turn up in A main. Sentinels have decided they've rattled Sabres enough here on this A side of the map, and they're slowly pulling out.
This B site is entirely vacant with Flickless pushing through B main. It allowed all of GX to rotate over to A, post up with the entire team. But now, trade-off, Sen are going to get that free plant on the B side, but you have to favor GX. Being able to take this retake down, it's just going to come down to competent trades in this 4 versus 3.
Zen can still set up here and at least take a tower position. Naturally, an 08 will post up in Elbow. They're concerned about a Rappy coming from spawn side, but all of GX now have announced themselves, and that's Grabinho. Not solo, they're at top mid. Flickless not able to take a trade though, and Zekin from that tower spot. That Ghost is starting to sing out. A lot of good damage. Ara knocked down to 15. Zekin able to slide across now, but it's Flickless who's exploring the site itself, and GX lock it down. Ara and Flickless, the 2 players coming up from tier 2, are the ones to make the impact in the pistol.
Both those Sen players just forced to swing out on the spike tap. Deleted. You know, despite Bang getting that isolated 1 versus 1 kill on the controller opposition, they're still able to eventually win things out. What a play from Westside. Lovely anchoring from that elbow position. And it was Flickless' willingness at the beginning of the round to push all the way out of B main. It just allowed GX to stack up on that proper site, find the early advantage.
Sentinels had honestly timed their exit from that A side of the map to perfection. As soon as Flickless rotates in from B, he doesn't actually see them get there. Not the opener Sentinels were looking for. But again, their attack side's been pretty darn good on Corrode. It's the defense side that's raised a few eyebrows in the past. Here's Zekin trying to challenge early, slide on out McLeod. Deals with it as Westside will remain in that pocket spot.
Zelsa's going to go ahead and grab that orb. I'm interested in seeing what Westside is going to bring on this Vice pick, because throughout Stage 2, he was running kind of his patented Cypher on this map, and he was locking down that B site with some very creative setups. But GX have very much so indexed into the meta of this map that we've been seeing more globally. I've certainly been seeing a lot of in Americas. These are agents that SEN are definitely going to be prepared to play against. They've got a lot of experience against them.
Delsa's likely in an attempt to sell something more at A. Doesn't just draw out the shield wall, he commits and is easily picked off. Not the most inspired way to try and catnip GX over at A, but it does at least allow the Sentinels to set up. They've not gotten in. Flickless looks to kick them at arm's length now as we head into the last 30 seconds of the round.
SEN should have no hopes of dealing any damage here, but I do believe they're able to kind of min-max the orb situation and collect each on the two sides of the map. West side likely going to clean up these last two players. Things go a little bit awry, but all good. He was the man just with the Ghost. So all of the important weapons retained for GX into this bonus round effort that'll be coming up. Of course, an outlaw early for Aura. So proficient with the scoped weapons. That has been his bread and butter. And such a crucial part of the success for GX on the defensive side that they play.
I really enjoy watching GX on defense in general. West side, obviously, fantastic anchor player, really dependable, and where the map allows for it, GX love to push up, get some info, super active on the defense side, even trying to set up these little pops early. This is where that'll be put to the test node. Sent into a buy, looking for that mid-control early, and then smoked it off heavily.
That standard haunt thrown up top by Narrate Prowler through your critical pieces of utility for getting a mid. This early link control, bit of damage exchange, bang, real low. Zekken as well.
Westside has fallen back to elbow out of that pocket position, but might even... I thought about reposting towards it. Gate crash set up here. Flickless, though, is down. That's a pick over towards top mid. He just goes for an exploration, and Bang was holding the line already.
And look at GX at the top of the map. They're now concerned about some of the gaps that are open, but SEN have just been biding their time, waiting to get into this A site, which is now totally devoid of any anchors.
Also, great presence in A main still for Sentinels here. An off angle by John. And they'll be able to drift over. This puts GX in a bit of an awkward spot. Gravino has been so dependable in this controller role. Will have to find a way in himself here.
Cover going out.
Look over towards pocket. That is at least going to eliminate that as an option. And also let GX start to get into the side itself. Second, waiting. Prowler, though, eaten up at close range. He's going to relay vault to try and get the space. He's low down to 45. The paranoia here comes on through. Westside and Cloud look to step up. Second will be first up and last out, apparently. And Gravino hasn't really been able to move from this position at all. Sentinels draw GX out of A with that pick in mid. Take the side for themselves.
I do love how Zekken plays that situation, feeling the pressure of multiple GX players, retaking through that main area of the site. Loses some health, doubles back. A paranoia comes through from Bang to assist him. Prowler as well, then reposts on the angle. Even a little movement adjustment for that second kill. Really lovely stuff from him. Not too much damage done from GX on that bonus round. SEN stabilizing their economy just a bit here.
Once again, it's the same setup over towards mid. Both the fast lane and the Viper Wall committed. Gravino playing close on the other side.
Yeah, this time GX are ready to contest with this paranoia.
Prowler's following him out.
Multiple players, yeah. Prowler going through, but Bang, crucial kill.
Around going to use the paper mache walls to his favor, though. Takes Bang down now. Wants to try and challenge mid off the flash. Not much to be seen there, but Flickless is able to take care of Zelsis. And that's the control of the B side of the map secured.
Now this is GX saying you're not going to be taking mid for free. What an adjustment from Aura. A gate crash if he does need to escape, but wow, actually just pops it as a fake immediately that he's gotten back out towards that B-side link, but he's staying posted up.
Here's that proactivity on defense for GX, but this time it puts him right in John's crosshairs. Aura at least is able to respond, again emerging from that top mid spot. He's already had 3 kills in the round, locking mid down. Causing that spike to go loose and leaving it all up to Zekken.
Those remaining SEN players, numbers dwindling away because they just have too many angles to cover.
A double face here is easy to put together. Zekken has to expect that, yeah. Either Aura or Flickless will get the job done. He's 5-1 for someone who's feeling a bit under the weather recently, not even scrimming. He's hit the ground running.
Debut global event as well. I love this adjustment from GX. Good call from IGL Cloud. They've been giving that mid space for free. SEN have been happy to take it fast. So with those Yoru flashes, some of our own initiator utility, just repop onto them, refight for that space. Really, really love that decision from GX. And now Sen, some fear is going to be instilled in them as well. When we have those walls up in mid, there could be flashes coming at us. They could be swinging through on us.
Curious about how these Zelsis lurks mid to late round have been looking so far. Flickless has been hard to shift on that B side of the map. Zara starting up close and personal this time, a little more than he perhaps bargained for at top mid. Now 3 players in link. Surely GX pop from here.
Well, yeah, they want to re-push. Steel guarded as well. Sen routed, running down mid, but Bang caught up top, so is Zekin.
Confirmation though as Westside steps in the mid. This is under the effects of Steel Garden, by the way. The classics ring out. I've never seen a better endorsement for the bundle than that. And the A side is open for Sentinels.
A cool, proactive idea from GX
They
to
lost
try
the
to
pistols.
refight into the mid. But with Sen being able to escape towards the bottom and then, re-swing out, that is
I don't know, man.
madness. How on earth does Zekin get 2?
Well, they have
1 onto the first guy coming in who's trying to clear, see where people are at. Sure. How on earth does he get a 2nd off that?
At the risk of being a little facetious, the crossfire setup for Sentinels was pretty good in top mid because they're obviously able to push all the way up to the arch at the very top of that part of the map. I think that's something we've got to have a look at here. It has to fall apart for GX. They look like they have the Prowler out wide. They have the opportunity, and they lose to vastly inferior guns in some pretty sharpshooters' hands.
Well, they're certainly feeling confident. I'll tell you that. They have not come into this game with nerves.
But if you watch GX,
hard.
right, you've seen this a lot. This is something they did to Fnatic in that series that really made Fnatic uncomfortable. There wasn't this time to set up. There were these thrusts coming out from defenders at really inopportune moments for them. Very disruptive. That is just...
I mean, yeah, Zekin just straight up won a 1v1 against Scorpio on that swing. That is crazy.
So Steel Garden didn't really have the impact I think they were hoping it would.
You're right. That is a very GX-coded play, though. They love to use an ult on defense to activate some kind of very aggro play. Sen are just going back to the well, seemingly. They wanted to go up mid, but this time it's just a little bit more of a bait, drawing the attention and a reposition towards this B main side, and GX are going to find that out when they pop out of the smoke with the flash.
Not a costly re-clear in terms of util for GX. Somewhat in positioning, right? They now have to make their way back into B, and if they don't beat the timing, they're in trouble. Now, no one's going to be affected by this Nightfall. Flickless, though, does step in, and the Steel Garden is active this time against GX. Bang with the paranoia. They're going to have to hit this at some point, and Zekin gets in there with the overdrive. A player at top mid on the other side of the smoke, and it's very clear where Flickless was standing. He is hit with that seize, and all of GX now getting mowed down. Coming out of top mid, even at long range, Zekin downs Ara. 3 for him in the round. And another flawless posted by Sentinels.
Zekin at global events this year has just been a monster. At Toronto, he was out of control. If he gets right back into that form here at Champions, this is going to be a potent Sentinels team. GX take a massive risk trying to get back into that site during the Steel Garden.
Yeah.
Flickless goes in.
There's
That
a
is
Nightfall
bold
baby.
play.
Give me a fist bump. Let's go.
Crazy bold play, and they're punished for it.
And Sentinels can sort of guess to how deep GX have gotten back into that side because of the info, or the lack of info that Nightfall actually provided. And then they've got such a massive inherent advantage. And Zelsis off the rip finally wins one against Flickless here at B, but he has some backup.
This is just a Sheriff's round for GX, so can't really fault Flickless for trying to go for something aggro.
Again, this is...
It's all of GX going for something aggro, which it's really felt like every single round so far. Nice shot from Cloud, does deal with Zekin.
John gets a lot of damage on this corner, in fairness. But the kill. Picked up for GX. Okay, man, those regen shields really getting pushed to their limits for John. He is going to have to give a lot of ground here and try and play at arm's length. He's given a lot of map control here to GX, but all of Sen are entrenched now in the post-plant scenario at B.
Yeah, I mean, more than anything, they should just be trying to kill John here, and they are, but
thank you.
Able to collect both. Well played from Sen's IGL.
Like the look from Grabinho this game, but he has not been able to get on the board in a gainful manner, and well, that's going to remain the issue. Sentinels post another one here, and this is that economy now for the North American squad starting to develop.
That was fairly important for John to keep that gun. I mean, it does just put Sen's economy in an absolutely out of control spot now. they will not be on an eco anytime soon. Uphill battle for GX in that
One
regard.
enemy remaining.
And so to some degree, it does feel like Sentinels are trying to tempt some early movement out of GX in these rounds, right? Take some space early, give it up, see if they re-clear, see how much they invest in re-clearing, either use it positionally or fight them as they try and do so. This time it's over towards A, that's where the presence is, but there is a poison orb inside A main. Sentinels aren't going to advance too much further than this for now. You'll notice they've left that shield wall in their wake, so likely looking to end elsewhere.
We're finally seeing Aura pick up that operator. It's so critical for GX.
Pivotal to his playstyle.
Yeah, success on defense, both for him, but for the team in entirety. You know, a lot of their defense success really comes around playing with the op and then forcing those attackers into Westside's sight where he's so fantastic at anchoring.
Doesn't see it, doesn't check the corner. Danger abounds. Westside, he takes his opportunity and he converts on it. And there's bang to fall as well. Perhaps some more dotty vibes, crossing of T's required there for Sentinels. But they have crumbled in a screaming heap.
He is such a stunningly consistent player in scenarios just like that. Playing in anchored positions, Zelsis is going to be able to pick up this one, but still, how can they wrangle this back? Time is getting quite low, 30 seconds remaining. Spike,
30 seconds
isolated
left.
Top mid. Why not go for it? They have infinite amounts of money right now, but...
There's a Haunt shot out. Phone spotted, now we're going to start spamming, I suspect. Are obviously with the op able to hold that line down. John is left alone against 4. That wall heavily perforated, the damage starting to come in. An auspicious number of health left here for John. Only 6 seconds left in the round to maintain this weapon. He'll wait for a step up, caught in the seas, decayed to 1, and dispatched.
That's that op getting online, and then just kind of forcing. You can see Sen, they want to play towards top mid. They go right into Westside, who displays some lovely patience there. Picks the opportune timing. Crosshair play unit is excellent. And that's what a lot of it comes down to for him when you watch him on defense. His crosshair placement is just genuinely impressive. Always in the right spot.
Good bait, no? I'm only behind you.
Really liking what I'm seeing from Westside this game. Flickless also been really asserting himself on the B side of the map and successful. Still seem to have started to figure out a couple of ways to best him.
Second does take a bit of spam damage. GX heavily indexed towards mid, towards A, as they have that op controlling the B side.
So now what do they do with this mid control? Do they give it up, wait for a re-clear? Cut noise perhaps, look for a way on A. There's a shield wall there in A main, which has not been uncommon in this game.
Yeah, I mean, right now there's no reason for them to believe that Sen aren't going to, drift towards either maybe up mid, but likely towards A at this point. Now all of that Vice util towards A is actually expended, so that's nice for Sen to get out around the minute mark on the round.
Ara playing forward on B here means it's pretty hard for Sentinels to feign B presence at all. He's set up with a gate crash that would let him get back to elbow. Eyes on Westside here, someone who we've been tracking very closely as a top performer already in these 8 rounds. Poison Orb here will obscure that field of view somewhat. Shield wall now triggered, and Sen are going to fully commit. So they got 4 players here heading over towards Yard, which is the only left back towards mid. Here's the Nightfall coming through. Narrate deals with Cloud. That's the eventual peak into mid dealt with.
Left.
And some elbow control being assumed now for Zelsis. Slow and steady. There's a relay bot catching on to Gravino. He's struggling in this game. Narrate doubles down. Westside out of the picture now. The close vicinity of the A side's been cleared. And Flickless walks headlong into an up shot.
That was simply the perfectly placed recon bolt from Second. That connected onto both anchoring players on their re-entry after being stalled so heavily by a really significant ultimate that Cloud threw out. That connected onto everyone coming through that link side. They had no chance of getting into the site. There was a paranoia thrown on top of that, which perhaps Gravino is regretting for not saving for a re-entry, but did think they were going to maybe pop out of that smoke, so can't really blame him, but would have been nice to have for that second wave.
I think in general, I just think the evolution of GX on this Corrode map has been satisfying. They've been criticized, I think, maybe for sticking to their sort of Sova breach guns too heavily on a lot of maps in the past. I think the adoption of this Yoru gives them coverage of a lot more of the map, and also some pseudo-initiator capacity, right, in terms of his kit. Not too shabby from them. Remember, Sentinels have a 74% attack side win rate on this map recently. Typically, they run teams over here. The GX staying in step is a very good sign.
And that is really the thing about GX in terms of their comp choices. They love the double initiator still, and it got them on the best run that they've had all year in Stage 2 to make it to champs. But now that they're here, yeah, they're switching up towards the more meta double controller, at least to begin here on Corrode. Opsil for Aura. Flickless does have that Viper's Pit, which could be thrown down on B at a moment's notice. So.
Still Garden also active on both sides. That's been a pretty key component of the util or ultimate heavy rounds we've seen on Corrode so far.
What do you expect if Sen make too much noise over on this B side? That pit will be thrown down immediately. They have the opt control over towards a main. So this should be a challenging round for Sen.
Yeah, look at this forward posting up here in A main by Ara. This is, I think we heard that shot ring out. This has made a little bit half a cent to get this part of the map under their control.
And it's key for them that they try to exploit some of these lanes in mid, knowing that that pit is in B main. Kill from Cloud, just spam, I believe, yeah.
Might have been off the back of some of that util either way. Zek now falling. That is mid presence completely neutralized. Now's a peek out from A short. Now where do you go? Sen are running out of options. They did draw the Viper's Pit out onto the B side of the map. Flickless felt like that was an appropriate investment. But elsewhere, there's no penetration here for Sentinels.
GX just do a great job of finding those kills in mid, the only really open lane that Sen had, and now they're going right back into this pit in B main. Zelsus with the
Please
attack.
check that corner this time.
This is something he's been picking up a lot more recently in Stage 2.
Okay, they're going to try and seize maybe to clear out. Yeah, this pit, they've got a catch there, and again, it's Gravino set up on the corner. Pit down though, Flickless inside of it, caught inside to seize, but Gravino nicely done with a recovered operator. Deals with Narrate, and this puts John in an impossible situation. He'll just hope to walk away with weapon intact.
Gotta feel good for Gravino to get online, get on the board, couple crucial kills to close this round out. It's nicely done from him. GX able to tie things right back up. You can see the effectiveness now that the operator is online for Aura as well. Even though he hasn't been racking up kills with it, it's just the map control that he's getting is even impacting the game, right? That is
apropos of nothing, Wyatt. Cloud has just gotten
a bit unfortunate.
The inkling he should spray.
What a shot from West Side. He is so good, man. He really is talented.
Yeah, I've become a bit of a fan of this GX team, I think, watching them. I love those teams who want to push up for info and defense, get active a little bit, take some risks.
Aura again is posted up towards that A main side with the operator and has a gate crash all the way towards back B. He needs to get over there quickly, and he just may need to. Steel Garden is going to canvas the entirety of the site. Flickless isolated in there with just a shorty.
Okay, Steel Garden out in response, but all this does is really slow Sentinels down. Do they want to imply they've been affected by it? Pull out your secondary.
I mean, that does enough that Flickless does get his gun back in time, ready to fight towards Link. Second power.
What? That is a nasty one. Gravino able to cover at least, and now swinging into two. It's Bang deals with him. Did catch the pocket player with the paranoia. It's shocking to me that there's even a trade. Nicely done for GX, and Zelsus is dug out of position. Traded though, West Side off the map. Now player inside elbow, and Sentinels have the pre-plant Viper's Pit in play.
Then caught by that Prowler, knows it's time to just get out of there. This dimensional drift trying to spot players out for Cloud, but with Aura isolated, no value to be found from this ultimate.
What's the play supposed to be for Aura? Yeah, I think discretion might be the better part of Valak here. Play off the side, hold the op. Still another round left in the half. Maybe get yourself a freebie if anybody steps past the line of scrimmage.
Really has no choice but to save. Look at the status of the cash for GX. It is dangerously low, and there is zero chance he'd be able to win this post plant out in this 1v3 with the pit down. I honestly though, if Zekin doesn't get that initial kill, that absolutely absurd neon slide kill, round looks totally different. You have to imagine 9 out of 10 times he's going down there. He's jumping out to create space and draw the crosshair away from his teammates. He didn't even have his gun out.
There are actually
slides and gets a kill.
2 GX players on that corner, and if the paranoia doesn't hit one of them, as you see there, this is disastrous. This is very bad.
Criminal. That is a criminal. I like this from West Side as well. That was nice. He, you know, with the wall going down, he pops a flash, he isolates a 1v1.
The tables are hot, gentlemen.
But from there, he's not able to get any assistance. You know, Heaven was smoked off where Aura was at. Good effort, but
Sentinels seem pretty satisfied with progress so far in this map. Oh, there it is. Prowler tried to get involved, not to be Aura. Flattens Zek and now is able to fall back further.
That is Aura going onto that angle late. The attacker beats the timing of the defender in A main, but he's just so fast that it did not matter. That is a display of just the sick reactions that this guy has when he's playing with the AWP.
Now, he's over in that mid position. Gate crashed here after that first pick in A. 3 players of Sentinels here grouped up trying to make their way through short. This is not being actively checked by Grabinho. Now the ball comes up at it's time for them to get on in. Aura now needs to spend a shot, get back through the wall. This is going to get that top mid control over. The Sentinels have struggled to fight for this part of the map. It's been very expensive for them, and they don't really want to force the issue there. Still trending in that A direction.
They draw a lot of attention towards P. Good paranoia from Grabinho will stall things up for Sen. Maybe allow for a rotate timing. Well, rotate is gone now. Westside at least with a pretty swift trade. Sen still need to deal with the anchors here on this site from GX.
And they're still on a clock from that rotation in through mid. It's Cloud with a Guardian now to give a quarterback counter himself. And that's Grabinho for 2. What an important anchoring moment for GX. Just as Sen looked like they'd had the local player advantage. Beautiful on defense this team is. Really enjoyed that half. Sentinels here are more stately open to the Champions campaign.
A real neck-and-neck game at the moment. Sentinels, who are typically very dominant on this Corrode attack, get stalled out just enough.
We'll be back, of course, with more of this first map between Sentinels and GX after a few.
Let's go.
Spirited affair already here between Sentinels and GX in their opener in Group A of Champions 2025. Corrode was the map, and as was discussed on the desk, a lot of overlap between these two teams' map pools. Ended up only having, what, Lotus eliminated, Ascent, I think, taken out of the mix. Bind obviously not going to feature. Of course, coming back in with our Coinbase econ report, someone who we really had eyes for was Westside, controlling that top part of the map really well. Obviously is able to tuck in a corner with a stinger, find 3 kills to really derail Sentinels at times. Definitely someone worth looking at. Zekin here, though, at Globals has been the silver bullet for this Sentinels roster.
Yeah, his entries that he was finding were pretty astounding. That sliding kill with the Phantom was absolutely outrageous. We'll see what he can accomplish now that Sentinels are switching over towards this defensive side, where last we saw them on Corrode playing defense, it was against NRG in the lower bracket final.
I tried to
America
bleach my eyeballs
two.
after that one.
Yeah, they got 1 round. They went down 11-1. So doesn't really need to be said that they need to put on a much better performance here against GX. I mean, this is their map pick, by the way. They picked this map, and that was their last showing on it.
I remember that was Bang had 1 kill at halftime in that game. Naturally for a bit of showing here. Grabinho with a classic, though. deals with Zekken with all too much ease. Doesn't even take any damage in that exchange. And that has already opened a possibility for GX on this B side.
Narrator's got a pretty forward position in mid, but with the wall dropping, going to retreat a little bit towards Link as GX need to rotate towards this A side. Cloud has been posted up in a safe position just to wait out any aggression that may have come from SEN, but it did not. It's been safe from them right now on this pistol round.
Testing A main now. Near Viper Ball to keep them at bay, and they're going to step over that. And a Razor Vine there and Flickless.
Narrate just walks out into the open angle and it's like
Alone
John alone.
as well. John's about to find two. Surely not more from John QT. A stunning three-piece that has now given Sen a chance to come up for air. And Celsius deals with the spike carrier. A round that felt all but lost there. Salvaged by the captain.
I suppose Narrate feeling like if he goes out, they wouldn't expect John to be behind that box as well. So sacrifices his life. And
yes.
John, he definitely made the most of it.
They never expect the second player to swing alone.
But listen, if there's anyone that could win a 1v2 right now for GX, it is Westside. He is white hot.
Arkrose confirms no presence in the side after the fact. Westside has pulled back now, though, giving his position away. Smoke thrown up here. Bang will be waiting within its depths now as Elsa's already got it to half. And Westside gets a frosty reception when he ducks in. Sentinels after a rocky start. 3v5 at one point. Able to take a second half pistol.
That is such an outrageous series of kills from John. The second one, the adjustment to the jump connects the instant headshot. That is sick.
Ara literally jumped to try and allow the other player to swing in. Maybe the spacing could be looked at there for GX, but it's hard to feel like they did anything really wrong there.
Ideas not totally aligned there. I mean, if Ara just swings out normal, he might have just gotten the instant trade. So fundamentals a miss, and John hits some unreal shots to exploit it.
Classic Sen move here. The force into heavy stingers after winning the pistol. Something that sort of changes the dynamic of the bonus round quite drastically, but allows them to buy up pretty healthily.
The Sen have absolutely loved doing this. They just have the one Bulldog for Bang who's posted up towards A main.
See it on this map a lot from them as well. Even on the attack side if they actually win that pistol.
Yeah, it is typically on attack that they've favored this buy. Couple shards for GX, see if they can get anything accomplished here.
Zekken very far forward, but this is being checked for. This is about to be ugly. Oh my goodness, the race bails him out. Zekken has the wherewithal to pull out the classic and go for some right clicks. Oh yeah, classic NA sting around, I suppose. For those unaware, that's a thing.
And then when you lose the stingers, well, it's not too bad. It's not the biggest hit to the economy. You can just buy more stingers. Yeah. So you're fine. That is the North American
hailing
way.
from the land of plenty. Just buy more stingers. Great setup here for Narrate, though. It ends up being a crossfire as GX know. They know Zekken is in that corner. They look to dig him out, but expose himself to that off angle. Not even Ara can bail them out.
Well, let's see what the plan is here from Sen. They are going to make a pretty fast approach down mid, it seems. As GX work both of the extremities.
How much longer can they take this early mid-control when we start to play the spam game? That's my question. Something they got owned by NRG on. With Brock just spraying them with an Odin.
One nice little benefit of playing the Yoru against Sen. You know that you're going to be able to use that clone to just trip the Vice wall. So that is immediately
super free.
Yeah, just off the map for Zelsis.
So change of tact here for GX. Eyeing off that B side of the map, which is far more loosely held. It is only John. By elbow now with a stinger, so not at his effective range. Likely would leave this open for retake.
Should have the molly for a little bit of stall, and Zekken is actually posting up towards that link. Dodges out the paranoia.
All right, in the site, Grabinho also TPing across, very much like Lotus here, as those two are able to get a bit further ahead. Into the site, rotations coming back through. Spawn here for Sentinels, and a position taken up in tower. But remember, these are just stingers, with the exception of Bang's Bulldog.
There was really no opportunity for Sen to flood their players not in position. Zekken continually just smoked off. And now on the re-entry, they're going to have to deal with these thorns on the ground.
Yep. And no steel garden, no nightfall, none of that sort of accoutrement, so to speak. In we go, Zekken up first, banged out as John and QT step in. No one to trade there for Ara, but yet it's Narrate with the Sheriff to step up. Cloud, you think would be dug out of this corner in a few moments. Economically, this is massive for Sentinels. A very cheap bonus with 3 slingers in play. And we'll have a full retake on the B side.
Just a 5-on-5 full retake. Zekken gets a lot of distance with the fast lane up coming out of Blink there.
It's a backbreaker for GX.
And Grubino just steps into the open to try and find the kill onto him, not expecting that a player would be right there. I mean, Bang gets an absolute free one on account of it. John out of his seat.
As you should be.
Yeah, what a round to win. Inflection point in this map. Yep. Honestly, this is where Sen might be able to just run away with the rest of the game.
And it's honestly an uncanny amount of these stinger bonuses we've seen Sentinels be successful on, even domestically. But able to have a proof of concept here and an international, gonna feel good for them. Again, they want that mid control here, but they're being pinged out. It's actually Gorbino spotted by the horns. And an easy pickup for Zekken through all this smoke.
All the GX players, but just Sheriffs are caught in the corner. What on earth is that? Come on, man. That's not how the game is supposed to be played.
Give me that white ripper PvP,
That's not
bro.
how the game is supposed to be played, bro.
Baby. Oh, my goodness. Tough round, of course, for GX to walk into. Knew they'd be unfavored economically.
This isn't what I thought the game would be when I was playing the
What happened to the game, I love?
This devious.
But what is to stop
activity from Zekken?
What is to stop GX though from scouting out this early movement? Because they are thrusting down mid, right? In theory, you could spray them down. You've got a double controller competition of your own. Ping them out with your, your Fade Initiator. Surely that's an option here to answer this like early push-up.
Really, outside of a couple of those early fight rounds from GX, mid has belonged to Sen this entire game.
Kings of mid, as we call them in NA right now.
Mid is so critical on Corrode that is just going to continue to give them the upper hand throughout.
The joke, Rob Moore, please don't tweet at me. Obviously not the ending to stage they would have liked. And everyone expecting them to step up here. So far, not so shabby. The mid control, again, that GX does not contest in the early part of the round. They're really only interested in the extremities. So Zekken's gotten pretty deep.
Rotate now from GX over towards this A side. Have to pay attention to Aura, of course, with that dimensional drift. Can collect all of the info towards A. And if Cloud gets just one orb, we'll have the Nightfall as well. He has the spike right now, so maybe we'll see a scenario where this dimensional drift allows them to get the plant down, and then they can Nightfall to win out in the post-plant.
Ara in shot there, concealing surely a massive chin. Very chiseled. And again with the dimensional drift, and now sees the Nightfall come out. Cloud caught out of that timing. Looks like Ara's going to commit to the site, and is sent packing by Bang, who'll happily occupy this pocket position and play off second where it even needed. Another 3-piece for the young gun. Another flawless for Sentinels, and 2 rounds away from a map take.
This control of mid is, again, just so influential. The pace that Zekken is able to just get right over into this A site and fight off that Nightfall catches one. Look at the teleport from Bang. That's insane, the adjustment. I mean, we rightly so talked a lot about how good Westside was anchoring. Bang is also on the anchor, one of the absolute best.
And it looks like the cue there for Sentinels is the dimensional drift that comes in from Ara. They know he's close by, and they just windmill slam that Nightfall onto the attackers, catch them out. Timeout here for GX. They've not had any control this half. They've not won any rounds, of course. It started with their loss in the pistol, and then a very unlikely loss in their first gun round against the triple stinger Bulldog Sheriff by. They need to stabilize, they need to settle. It's moments like this that really put teams in international debuts to the test.
Down by 5 rounds. Every single player on Sen effectively money capped right now. They have ultimates to play with. The game is within Sen's hands to take. This first map, their pick of Corrode.
Coach Pipson just trying to re-establish what the parameters should be for this GX attack side. And maybe at some point, they've returned to trying to fight for mid a little bit. But they tried it once so far this half, and it caused Grubino to get pinged out by a Horn and picked off instantly.
To be fair, that one time, that was just a buy where they had some lower weaponry, but they're just ignoring mid entirely again. they just want to hit this B site with the ultimates, it seems.
Okay.
Maybe some kind of cheeky Grabinho teleport behind with the Nightfall to cut off the audio.
Look, we've seen We've seen Ara get into that B site with a gate crash. There's been a TP forward. They can at least get their Omen and Yoru past that layer of stall util that we're seeing from John here. And you're right, Wyatt, you called it. Nightfall comes on in. They want to fight for this here. Razorvine already popped out on the side. Zekin is there already. And he has got an overdrive to work with. Straight through the pit he goes. He's ready to throw down. Spots that Grabinho. It's electrified from Zekin. High voltage warning should be on the label for this guy. Not quite the ace, but still, well, it's a show-stopping performance.
Bang cleans this up. 12 rounds for Sen, 1 away from the win. Again, it is just the pace that Zekin is coming into these sites to assist the team anchoring. These straight-up hits from GX
20
are
kills.
getting absolutely stomped into the ground because the anchors are arriving on time. What a over the top. Very cool as well. Zekin gets in, gets that first. I mean, this is beautiful play, but again, it's this lack of any control of mid that is allowing Sen to just rotate so fast, flood in, support their anchors.
3 big ultimates up in that round for Sentinels, right? They've been sitting on those for quite a while. They've been getting a lot of kills, having a lot of success on this defense side. Far cry from what we've seen domestically from them. Looks like they've tightened the screws a little bit here. Horn does ping out Grabinho. Those stuck inside that corner. Ara's already gone down, and Zekin tries for a flamboyant slide across mid. Sentinels encouraged here to slow the pace down a little. Finally, they've given some mid control over.
And why not go for that if you're Zekin?
Here.
At this point, he's feeling himself.
Yeah, just a little bit of confidence. Flickless, unfortunately, peaks into 2 Sen players who've taken full A main control.
Oh, God!
Spike down A.
Well, Cloud gets onto A. Unfortunately, it's in a body bag and narrates. Slots in 4 to kick off Sentinels campaign here in Paris. And a slow start, conservative. Looks like they really wanted to get their bearings early on Corrode, and then a perfect defense side to lock up the first map, 13-6.
That is an energizing open for the Sen City, who last we saw took a pretty tough loss in that lower bracket in Americas. They're bouncing right back.